A big problem for a lot of contractors is not just getting leads, it's actually closing those leads as well. And in a lot of cases, of course, the problem is with those leads because a lot of those leads are not qualified, they're low in quality, and all that stuff. I don't want to speak from a perspective that I know absolutely everything, but I work with a lot of different businesses and I listen to a lot of those phone calls. When I listen to those phone calls and I position myself as a customer in that phone call, I personally probably wouldn't work with that company based off of that conversation alone. And I've noticed in a lot of cases that the contractor that's actually answering the phone is not doing a really good job at selling his services to the potential customer. So even if the potential customer is good, they're willing to spend a lot of money, they're willing to do a big project that the contractor is actually dreaming of, but if you don't know how to properly communicate with that customer, then of course you're not going to get as good results as somebody who's getting less leads than you, but they actually take care of all that additional stuff as well. And I really don't want to preach, but from my personal perspective, I noticed this issue a lot of times. Contractors always think all I need is more leads, but in a lot of cases, the problem is not with more leads. The problem is actually with communicating with those current leads you have properly. So what are some of the common issues that I've actually noticed? Well, for example, the contractor answers the phone and says, "Hey," and the person on the other phone is like, "Yeah, is this the company? Is this the company that I found on Google?" And he's like, "Yeah." And of course, like from the start, the customer feels like they're in a really negative situation. And a lot of people, especially nowadays, people are cowards. They get social anxiety when speaking with other people. So if you answer the phone call aggressively and you don't come across as an easygoing person that's easy to work with, then of course that person you're speaking with is probably going to feel like you're not the best contractor to work with. And this of course is basics, like everybody knows this, but in a lot of cases when contractors speak with hundreds of different people, they tend to forget about these details and they don't really pay attention because they're getting projects. And then they center their attention towards getting more leads instead of actually trying to close more of those leads they're actually getting right now. Of course, like I don't want to come across as somebody who's telling you how you should handle your business, but from all those phone calls that I've personally listened, that I've helped my clients get, I've noticed a lot of these issues that obviously made that person uncomfortable because you can hear it in their voice. And of course, everybody knows about these details. And I don't want to seem like a guy that's telling you about, some basic stuff. But it's such an easy thing to forget when you're dealing with so many different leads that a lot of contractors tend to forget about these little details and they focus so much on getting more leads. Another problem that I've noticed is that a lot of these contractors that use those different companies to answer the phone call, to respond to those leads, and then connect with technicians or to connect them with the owner because they're getting a lot of leads. And of course, they don't really have enough time to answer all those phone calls and do the jobs and all that stuff. But the companies that they're using are often really poor in quality. The companies that answer those phone calls, if it's not the contractor himself, in a lot of cases don't even know what kind of services this company is providing. Somebody asks, "Do you do bathroom remodeling?" And the company name is John's Bathroom Remodeling. And the person that's answering the phone call says, "I don't know, I have to check." And then they have to go to their computer, go to the spreadsheet to see if that company provides those services. And imagine for a customer that's actually calling this company and they're trying to figure out if this company can help them. They just wanted to make sure that they actually reach the right company. And when they reach the right company, this guy doesn't even know what services they provide. And the customer doesn't know that this is just an assistant from probably a different country that's answering these phone calls. All they know is that this person doesn't even know if they provide those services. And if you're advertising, for example, and you're paying $300 to $400 per lead, and somebody picks up the phone call and doesn't even know if you provide the services that you're advertising for, all that money they actually pay for those ads is going to be wasted, unfortunately. And I'm sorry for laughing because this is a problem that a lot of people have. And I don't want to come across as arrogant or something, but this problem is so absurd, but it's so easy to fix. Just be nice, just be polite, qualify the customer on the phone while you're speaking to him. And in a lot of cases, just by doing those things, which is really simple, everybody knows that. But when you speak to hundreds of different leads, and a lead doesn't become a potential customer, but it's just a number. In a lot of those cases, when that happens, that's when you actually start to, forget about these basics, and you don't really care about that lead. You're basically just waiting for somebody to, just come to you and pay you to do the project without even asking you any qualifying questions or whatever. But this is really, really simple. I even feel, it's funny to me to record a video about this because everybody knows this, but it's because it's so simple. Just by paying more attention to these phone calls, by asking more detailed questions, by being more supportive on the phone call, when somebody's speaking about a huge problem that they have, somebody opens up to you. I've even had cases where the customer opens up about a leak that they have in their basement, and they're really stressed because they need somebody to help them in that emergency. But then when the contractor actually answers the phone, they don't even try to seem like they're actually trying to help that person. And of course, that person is probably gonna, think that this guy, if he's answering the phone like this, what's gonna happen later on if I have some other issue? What if he does something wrong? Can I actually trust this guy? If he is being aggressive with me on the phone? And of course, you might not actually be aggressive, but to them, in a lot of cases, because people are cowards nowadays, unfortunately, they have social anxiety just speaking to somebody that they don't know. Of course, in a lot of those cases, people are going to feel like you're coming off as aggressive, as untrustworthy, and then they will fill in the blanks of everything that they don't know about you with everything that they are going to assume. So of course, this is going to present a huge problem for your company that's advertising, that's paying for leads, that's trying hard to get all those leads, but a lot of those leads are not converting. So pay attention, try to treat every single lead as a potential customer. And of course, even if you don't provide the services that they're asking for, or you don't want to do those projects because they're too small or maybe too big, at least try to give that person some advice. So that's basically it for this video. I know this is pretty basic, it's pretty simple, everybody knows about this, but a lot of people don't actually do what I just said. Try to care more about the people that you're actually speaking to. Try to actually give them some advice, help them out, be nicer on the phone, and not only you're going to close more leads, but also you'll feel better about what you do. If you need my help, you can go to my website. The link is in the video description. Fill out the contact form and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.